we're never a bore. You haven't heard it like this before. Yes, it's time to explore the things we care for. And though your jaw may hit the floor, we're still the weirdos you adore. We're the weirdos next door.
Hello, this is Nobi, he, him.
And this is Nicole, they, she.
And together we are...
The Weirdos Next Door.
I need to work on some other things for that. Anyway, hello.
Hi there.
We are here to talk about...
accessibility at cons.
Accessibility at conventions, hotel conventions. And so we sort of had like a peek into what life will eventually be.
Yeah, what aging together can look like.
Yes, when an AGR ages, one of the partners will invariably advance along in regular activities and things. Mm-hmm. What am I trying to say?
The older person's going to get older.
And the younger partner
also gets older.
But then also kind of takes on the role of caregiver. So,
but I mean, that's also, barring, any tragedies or things that we hopefully don't happen, me getting incredibly sick or
right
in an accident, like who knows? But if things take the natural course, you will. That we don't even like to talk about it.
You know what? It's one of those hard discussions, and this is something that we
do have a like the tough shit about AGR discussion that we've kind of had pinned, but we know that it's going to be a very emotional discussion.
Yes. So, and rather than have that discussion right now, let's just talk about our experiences with me having to be in a wheelchair for 3 days straight at a convention with like bunches and bunches of people during a pandemic, during a recent, a surge with a new variant. And on top of that, not that it was being passed around, but who knows, monkey pox. There's so much other things going on, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
I've had to be in a wheelchair before for the same thing. My hip is always, my sciatica has always been a major problem, like as long as I can remember. I invariably get the, well, if you lost weight, you would take more stress off your joints. And I'm like, thanks. Thank you. Anyway, so.
Good job. Good job being a doctor.
But when I did that, the one time we were at Disneyland. Had tickets, full weekend.
And just to clarify, we mean we as in his first, yes. his only wife and the kids. Not we, me and him.
Yes.
This was well before me.
My previous life. This had to have been 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, so being in a wheelchair at Disneyland is a really different experience. It's actually kind of beneficial because, first of all, Disneyland is wide open. Mm-hmm. It's as crowded as gotten, as packed as it has gotten, it is exceptionally ADA friendly, and you get to go to the front of the line wherever you go. Yeah, you
pretty much get like VIP treatment.
That was pretty sweet.
Yeah,
and I'm sure people did not appreciate the fact that I was getting out of the wheelchair and like walking and getting into like the rides. I mean, I was limping, of course, but it's like he's faking it.
It's none of those people's business. You could have just got a literal hip replacement. Like, no, you probably shouldn't be going. Like, you could be in the phase of your recovery from a surgery where you still can't necessarily walk around all day, but you're able to do shit. You might, like, who knows what the situation is. You're not entitled to people's life story.
Yeah. Anyway, I think the first obstacle. No, that was not the first obstacle. That was like when we first left. We had issues like breaking down the wheelchair and putting it in the trunk because the leg thingies.
Well, also I have a very small trunk. I have a weird trunk.
Light Fury, yes, it does not have a large rear opening.
Well, that's where the hybrid battery is. So you get a little bit more leg room in my version, but you lose some trunk space due to the extra battery.
Oh, that's right, because Light Fury is a hybrid.
Yes. Once we had it figured out, like day one was rough. My driving got better throughout the weekend.
You're in your aggro driving.
No, I'm talking about the wheelchair driving.
Oh, the wheelchair maneuvering.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, also when we figured out, like, okay, I need to help us get through
I can't
doorways.
spot the doorway very well.
At some point, you're going to have to.
At some point, I will have to, and I'll probably be doing the backwards
That's true.
route.
You know what I found was like elevator doors. It takes a while to get moving and kind of get in, and the elevator doors were like either closing on me and the chair,
Yeah.
or on you as you're trying to back in.
Yeah.
So there's got to be like some sort of like, I guess you reach into a hold button, but then it makes that. Everybody look at us.
I mean, say you were alone, you still have to get over there to hit the hold button.
Yeah. Because, it hurts to move my left leg. So when the door hits my leg, that does not feel good.
Yeah.
So I think that's an issue. Now, granted, this was an older hotel. It was an airport hotel in a large metropolitan city on the West Coast.
In Southern California.
Okay, it was LAX. Anyway, but man. First of all, I really felt.
All right. First.
Oh, let's talk about accessibility.
Well, just as a note, how we ended up deciding to go to the convention as a whole, because we had kind of gone back and forth on it over the past couple weeks prior to the convention. Like I was checking in with you every couple days, and you were really not sure about being able to go.
I was also very, very concerned about the COVID.
Right.
That too, right?
Understandably so.
But yes, but when you suggested you did a little sleuthing,
Yes.
and you were able to find that the service you can like rent mobility devices.
Yes, like Cloud Goods or something like that.
Yeah, it sounds like Cloud Goods. I remember getting emails like that.
Let me just verify that really quick. Cloud of Goods.
Cloud of Goods.
So cloudofgoods.com. They do lots of rentals, but they do a lot of accessibility rentals. And I thought the cool thing about what they do is they do like delivery and pickup, and you can, they have contracts with a lot of hotels. They have contracts with Airbnb. They have contracts with, Universal Studios and Disneyland and all of these different places, so that they can actually go drop off your accessibility or mobility aid and then come pick it up when you're done with your vacation. So that's really cool.
I don't think I got a confirmation that they picked up.
We'll check that out.
Yeah, we'll check it out. But yeah, that's actually a really great service, especially for someone, for our needs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I was even saying, should we just go to a thrift shop and see if we can find like a $25 one?
Yeah.
But then it's just more stuff to hold on to.
Yeah, then we have to find somewhere to store it.
Yeah.
And we are short on space right now.
Ooh, way short on space.
But yeah, I was considering, going down just by myself, at least for one day, just to see our pals that we know. But that made me really nervous because
people.
That's leaving alone.
It's actually when you said that, okay, well, if anything, I want to go and I will go by myself. And I was like, Hey, number one FOMO, right? but also, you wouldn't have the same experience. You might have a better experience, but anyway, I don't know. Or you would, no, you'd be fine because you like had lots of friends and stuff you were meeting up with.
I mean, not really. I just went and talked to like a couple of people that I knew.
Anyway.
I mean, I probably would have got hit on, which would have felt nice.
Mm-hmm.
But
that feels good.
But alas, here we are.
But anyway, that's not our topic this time.
Not desirability and feel. Never mind.
Well, let's talk about desirability because, like, here I am, all schlubby in my wheelchair,
and this adorable little human is just all about you,
pushing me around. But also, not just that, but everybody else is so dressed up and looking great, and like, I felt, like the whole imposter syndrome was even more so. Like, I almost felt like I was getting unwelcome, like, vibes.
How can you be kinky? What are you doing in a flogging class? You can't flog. You're in a wheelchair. You're taking an activity class. How can you do the activity?
We're going back to the ADA, the accessibility issues, and the issues that we kind of got a peek into the future of what's going to happen. And oh man, when my foster grandfather, in order to come to the States, you have to have a sponsor. So, big white man, sports writer for, big newspaper, found out that this cute girl, my mom, had a boyfriend who was like a world-class athlete, and him, being the sports editor of said paper, was really all about like, oh, does you want to come to America? Because I will gladly sponsor him. Just kind of like a, anybody who's athletic, into like, sports like me. It's like I want to kind of support that. So I guess in a way that's good. Mm-hmm. So actually, he was the one that died in his house while I was there, and it was kind of. And then I had to sleep the whole night because we called it. And they said, well, we can't get anybody there until the morning. And so,
I'm sorry.
So me and there was a caretaker and my grandmother. I mean, she was still alive, and she was sleeping in her bed in their bedroom, and he was in another room with the hospital gurney type thing. Mm-hmm. But I put my, I was like on the phone, and then the caretaker comes out and says, I think you better come check on your grandfather. And I went, and he was still. And he wasn't moving. I put my ear to his chest, and it was just so eerie, not hearing anything. Mm-hmm. So bizarre. And I don't know how I slept, but I slept that night. I don't know, maybe I was relieved, because he was in a lot of pain, and seeing him really like just deteriorate. And he had Alzheimer's. Hi, Kit Kat. And it was tough. It was tough to see someone deteriorate. And here's a tip: when someone goes, if they can't get picked up right away, or even before, and it's not like it's like you can't touch the body because it's a crime scene or something like that, right? Straighten their body out. Straighten their body out. If they're curled up, get them on their backs, lay it out straight, because if they're going to go in a coffin, it's because rigor mortis sets in. So by the time that he came, they picked his body up and put it on the morgue, coroners, whatever, gurney, and he was kind of rocking on it because he was all curled up. And so like I felt kind of bad. I felt like I could have done that because he was like, pliable at that time.
Yeah, but that should have been in the caretaker's purview.
Well, that
not necessarily yours.
Okay. I've been beating myself up about that for how many years?
No, your live-in caretaker, your hospice aide, should have handled that.
Should have, like, straightened them
That's
out.
kind of
like,
their whole deal of bridging,
easing things.
yeah, bridging the life to death area.
We didn't have luck with caretakers because I think my mom was kind of cheap. So we had one that was having my grandmother write him checks, like $100 for landscaping, and they lived in a condo. $150 for dry cleaning, errands. I was like, are you taking a chopper? What's going on here? And I'm surprised he didn't physically abuse them. He didn't neglect them.
Yeah.
He just took advantage of them. And so we had to close their their bank accounts, and obviously got him fired. Try to get the money back because my mom insisted. You call him. I'm like,
You tell him.
it's like, whatever.
Yeah, Mom, that's gonna work.
I got some woman on the phone. It's like, yeah, I'm calling about the money. Like, here laughing in the background. So I just hung up. So like, whatever. Anyway, what I noticed a lot. Okay, what did you notice? Because I think I've told you what I noticed, but what did you notice pushing me around?
I mean, I guess I forget that, like, all people aren't hyper vigilant of their surroundings.
Well,
like,
everybody knows that.
Like, I have, it's that, like, in the pandemic I've completely forgot. Because, like, hypervigilance is a natural state for my poor traumatized brain.
Me
So
too.
I'm always scanning, always very, very aware of what and who is around me.
That you and I both do that.
Yes. So it surprised me how few people were at all aware of the space that they take up, and being in the middle of, a
Aisles.
walkway
Or a doorway.
just kind of standing there hanging out.
Class is letting out, and you just like you step out 3 steps from the door and stop to talk to people.
Stop.
It's like,
And I'm gonna stand in the middle of this doorway having a full ass conversation and completely ignore the person who is
in a wheelchair,
actively screaming, "Excuse me."
I should have brought a horn, but then they would have said, "What an asshole."
It's like, but if you're that oblivious,
What would have been really better is like a cattle prod.
yeah, but then you're getting into consent issues.
Teaser. All right, squirt gun.
So that was a bit disheartening.
Yeah, but one
Made
thing
me
I
sad.
noticed, like, people will like look over you.
Yeah, they just act like you don't exist.
And like literally pretend they don't see you as they cut you off going into a door.
Yeah.
And it's like, I wonder if I do that. Do I do that? Am I that, when I'm ambulatory? Am I that callous, that unseeing, uncaring? I don't think I am.
Mm-hmm.
I try not to make a big deal of it because I know that's
Yeah, you can't go too far the other way either.
yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, it's definitely something that I'm sure you and I will be much more aware of moving through the world in the future.
I was a little disheartened. Man, I already have like zero respect for humanity.
Well, I mean,
look at us. We're a freaking hot mess.
just look at the last 2 weeks.
Oh my god.
Everything's fine.
Oh my god.
But anyway.
Um,
But I know that between the two of us, like, we figure it out.
yeah.
We make adjustments. We make it work.
Well, what I noticed was, another thing I noticed is people are pretty, like, disrespectful of space.
Oh, absolutely.
Very disrespectful of space. I literally had my left foot sticking out because my left hip was painful, so that's why I had it sticking out.
Mm-hmm.
We tucked ourselves into a corner, and we thought people would use the center aisle, but no, they instead would come around the side and
Step over you like a piece of furniture.
yeah. And I think one person even hit my foot, and I was just like, it didn't hurt, but I was like, ow. I'm like, just nothing. Do 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 do. So that was much sadness. Yeah, just that was a huge thing. Another thing was like thresholds or like irregularities.
Yeah.
Like thresholds, like
Door
sometimes.
thresholds.
Yeah, like we would get stuck, like when you get stuck on a,
Yeah, there were some that were quite smooth and some that definitely were not.
Yeah. So I started learning to like kind of like do a little wheelie, pop a little wheelie as we approach.
Yeah, help just kind of get a little bit more inertia going.
Well, it actually what helped was like grabbing the each side of the door frame, and as I pulled, it would automatically kind of lift the front little wheels. It was not a very comfortable wheelchair. I think my butt pad would have helped a lot.
Yeah.
So let's not forget that again. I should have I kept thinking at the end of the day, like, my butt's hurting. I should get that butt pad, that one that's in the studio.
Oh, we should have. We were in a freaking hotel. We probably could have just asked concierge for a pillow for 3 days.
Well, no, I wouldn't want to sit on a pillow. The thing about this particular butt pad, it has a cutout for your
tailbone.
Yeah, tailbone.
I know, but
and that's right now where it hurts the most on me. And I think it actually might have some like pimples or sores or something. And that's disconcerting because I got a cute butt.
You do got a cute butt.
It's not cute right now. So
yeah, so I think it's definitely one of
angry.
those things that, I mean, it definitely made me a little bit more aware. Made me a little bit more aware that we both need to be working on our like mobility and core strength and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
we're both already dealing with chronic pain and have dealt with chronic pain for quite some time now, but it's one of those like our bodies aren't going to feel any better. It's only going to get worse. So we need to try to do what we can while we're able.
My mom was like trying to tell me to go to yoga class.
Yeah, we need, once we get our space back, that's how I want to start our mornings.
All right. We'll figure that out. Any takeaways as far as what it was like experience-wise? Just overall.
I mean, overall, I think it was okay. I mean, of course, I was disappointed by like the ableism, but like it's something that we luckily have some time to adjust into. But I think when we do get there, I think we will be okay.
Right. So I guess the main takeaway from this is sort of like, let's do our best to
show compassion and kindness.
Absolutely.
And
be more aware of our surroundings. I think you and I are pretty hyper aware of our surroundings, especially now with, anti-Asian attacks, but also like, social distancing and all that kind of stuff. So
like, I didn't like people near me
period.
Before all of this. Like, it's just gotten much worse. And like, I had hypervigilance issues. Like, I can never put my guard down when I'm in public places. Like, that hasn't changed since I was like a teenager.
Of course.
Like, because look at what these kids get to grow up into these days. Like, it's not fun.
Yeah.
It's not a fun way to live life. And there's a little piece of me that is envious of these oblivious people. It's like, man, it must be nice. Just that whole ignorance is bliss thing. Like, it must be nice.
That's the maddening part about it.
Mm-hmm.
The dummies are too dumb or too stupid to realize that they're dumb.
Yeah.
Listen to Tucker Carlson.
It's always going to be someone else's fault.
Anyway, I think we've like talked this ADA thing. So I don't want to be in a wheelchair or need any kind of mobility devices. It bugs me enough that I have to have reading glasses. So definitely, I want to try to like work on the body. I think I definitely have like let myself slide in the last pandemic.
Yeah. I mean, I will say that, like, I think in that regard, you and I have been lucky that, like, yes, we've had some weight fluctuations during the pandemic, but we have mostly stayed, like, within what is our quote-unquote normal range.
I bloated a little bit because we were drinking a lot at
Yeah.
first, beginning of the pandemic. But then, like when booze became like, it's kind of settled down. Actually, went down kind of low because I think there was a depression and not eating and stuff. And,
Yeah.
And for you, I think it's probably been your Adderall that's giving some extra energy and moving around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we thank you for listening to us. If you're still with us, check us out on weirdosonline.com.
Just like look twice for motorcycles, like look twice for the people around you.
Yeah. Be aware.
Like, just be more thoughtful.
Be aware.
You're not the only one in the world.
And
I know sometimes you really want yourself to be, but you're not.
And understand, eventually we're all there.
Yep.
We're all heading that direction. So show some compassion. Be a better human. Be a smudge. Be more like smudge.
Just try.
Yeah.
Just try to be a better human. Just a little.
We are the Weirdos Next Door. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Smash your social mores with the weirdos next door.